Green energy, wind power. As long as the wind has blown, people have tried to harness it to power their lives. For generations, sailors have tried to use sails to capture the wind and explore the world. Farmers once used windmills to grind their grains and pump water. Today, people are using wind turbines to create electricity. Wind power is generated by moving air. As the sun heats the land, the air above also warms and rises. Cold air then replaces the rising air. This creates the wind that we feel most days of the year. This diagram shows how the system works. Air tends to warm at a faster rate over the land because the land retains the heat. Over the sea, the air warms more slowly as the cold water slowly cools heat of the sun. If you visit the seaside or coastal area, you will probably find that the weather is more breezy or windy than inland. This is because the warm air rises over the land and cold air over the sea replaces it. In this diorama, rotating turbines create energy to light the mountain and the small buildings. Wind power generators are rarely seen in isolation, as they are normally put together in groups forming wind farms. The biggest wind turbines generate enough electricity to supply 600 US homes. This is the most efficient way of producing electricity from the wind and feeding it into the national power grid. Single generators are normally much smaller and used on farms or in remote areas where it is not possible to cable electricity from the national grid. Most wind energy comes from turbines that can be as tall as a 20-story building and have 3 200-foot long blades. These contraptions look like giant airplane propellers on a stick. The wind spins the blades, which turn a shaft connected to a generator that produces electricity. Wind is a clean source of renewable energy that produces no air or water pollution. And since the wind is free, operational costs are nearly zero once a turbine is erected. Mass production and technological advances are making the turbines cheaper, and many governments offer tax incentives to spur wind energy development. But the wind is variable. If it's not blowing, there's no electricity generated. Over the past decade, wind turbine use has increased to more than 25% a year. Still, it only provides a small fraction of the world's energy. Industry experts predict that if the pace of growth continues, by 2050, the answer of 1/3 of the world's electricity needs will be found blowing in the wind.